Good morning. This is Abby. I just wanted to share my testimony. Um, so I would have went to Savannah with the rest to get in isolation, but while going to Savannah, I started noticing, but it's hard for me to breathe. Even when I walk, I couldn't catch my breath, even to make 5 steps. So then we and at Savannah, no. Esther and told the people before we got to the rooms that I can't breathe. So then them sent me to the room and said no, a nurse and a doctor. So that's when I would have got the rapid test that said I was positive for the COVID-19. And then the nurse would have realized that I having a hard time breathing, and she said that she think that I need oxygen. So they would have called the ambulance and that would have came midnight. So then when oxygen people was monitoring me and stuff, I would have got received my first set of oxygen in the ambulance. And then when I got to the hospital, they have a COVID-19 unit. So which is like in the own department or wherever downstairs. Then would have put me inside of this glass room. So I was separated from everybody else. In the hallway, it would have had people in beds and stuff. But then they had this room that was empty, and they put me inside of this glass room that would have its own bathroom and own sink. And then nobody was coming in the room. No nurse or nothing, unless them get fully dressed. Then had like this speaker thing, and then would communicate with me through like a speaker on the wall. So on going there now, I would have received more oxygen, and I was on drips, and I was taking blood from me and stuff. And then things started to get worse because I would have came off the oxygen for a bit. But then going to use the bathroom and stuff, I couldn't get to the bathroom because I couldn't breathe. So then it had a point because the nurses and stuff wasn't coming inside the room. I could not breathe, and the oxygen was like a little way from me. So I ended up panic, and I called my sister, and I said, Sarah, I need oxygen. What to put this here on? And she tell me what to put it on. So then I use the oxygen on my nose, and I was just there saying to myself, I just get this feeling like I'm not gonna come out of this room, but I ain't gonna make it. And then these people, the nurses and thing was absolutely ignoring me. Like I would wave them down. Nobody would not come inside the room except to pass me food. So then time passed, and I was trying to get back to my children because my children was at her at some point with my little boy father. So I was trying to get back to them because he wasn't nursing or nothing. He wasn't eating. So then I said, I don't feel it if I come out of this room. I just get the feeling, the cold chill over my body, everything. And then God just started to tell me what to do. Exactly, because my phone battery and I'm dead, so I wasn't in communication with nobody. So then the Lord just started telling me what to do. The Lord tell me to take off the machine. I take the machines off from my hand, and I tell the Lord, what else to do? I still can't breathe. And the Lord tell me, you see the pipe there? Walk to the pipe. He said, drink the water, and sprinkle the water around the room. So I started to sprinkle the water all around my room and drink the water. And while I was drinking the water, I pray and say, Lord, this water represent you, your blood, and I start to drink it. And immediately, I ain't gonna tell a lie. Immediately, not 5 minutes later, not 10 minutes later, immediately I could start to breathe enough that I start to walk around the room. And when I walk around the room and I look across, it had these two male nurses that was just there standing up laughing at me, legit looking and laughing. And then they said, Lord, these people don't want me out this room. The Lord tell me the people do not want me outside the room. And if I stand there and take more oxygen, I can never be able to breathe. and things would just start and get worse and worse. Lord said, do not take no oxygen. So I take about no oxygen, because I start to feel like I could breathe. And I went back on the bed. I start to walk around and I start to pray. And I start to find myself speaking in tongues. And I just start to feel, I didn't sleep for the 2 days I was in the hospital, because I was terrified to sleep, because I had the feeling like if I lay down and sleep, I did not get back up. So after I pray and sing, I start to sing. I start to sing to myself in that room, walk about and sing, and then I find myself dozing off. When I wake back up, it was time. It was in the morning and it was time for breakfast. And the Lord told me, "Do not eat. Do not eat. Drink more water." So when the people see me ain't eating, no, then I was like, you fast yourself. Then I can help you get back to your children. And I say, I don't want no breakfast. And I drink the water, and I praying, and I drink the water, and I praying. So the Lord tell me that is all the enemy COVID. God gave people COVID-19 for a reason. Christians, I ain't meant to get scared. I ain't meant to be afraid of. But do not take no oxygen, because when you go and take the oxygen, some door in the spirit realm get open, and the devil creeping in, and you will not recover. So the Lord said, do not take no oxygen. So I just pray myself, and then I start to feel the room start to feel lighter, and I start to feel I coming out, because I got God. So I start to feel so strong. And to be honest, the whole experience just feel like if it changed my life. And I come out and I feel like a whole different strong being. Like I feel like nothing at all cannot touch me. Like that's how I feel. Like if it's invisible or if I got superpowers, like I feel like a whole different person. After that, then just eventually, because they say I was waiting 24 hours for results at the hospital. That's where they wasn't releasing me. But the 24 hours was gone. And I wasn't hearing nothing. They legit, they don't want me out this room, you know. And I feel like that's how people dying too, because the doctors ain't paying people that ain't get vaccinated normally either. And they got certain people that they want dead. Because it's faint every once in a while, the doctors just start to say, oh, you have faint, use faint, like trying to see what is the problem that they could probably pin death on. And that's how I know that they didn't want me out of the room. And the Lord to tell me I wasn't going to make it out of that room. So I had to put all of my faith on He. And then the people now come to discharge me so I could go to Harrison Point to meet my children. And I walked out the room, and all the nurses was just there looking at me like, yo. Everybody was just standing. Everybody was standing and just staring at me. And I walked straight to the door. I didn't wait for them to get in the bed. Nothing. I just walked straight to the door out and straight into the ambulance and went to Harrison Point to my children. And I just feel like I would never be the same again. Because I witnessed the devil firsthand in there. And I witnessed God firsthand in there. This whole COVID-19 would have shown me we got put, we hold trust in God, and the isolation days that we have at home, praying and reading, that's the build we self. Because if any of we get sick, the only person we got to depend on when you're in a room by yourself is God. So I would just encourage everybody to lean on God, because it's only God. It's you and God at the end of the day. If something happens to you, you can't call your mother, you can't call your father, you can't call a prophetess, you can't call Pastor Mark. It's only you and God. So build a relationship with you and God. Amen.